Hello and welcome. This is Captain Niko, and I'll be taking you on a journey with the combating of Lovecraftian evil. Indeed, I will be facing Hastur, which is a double extra hard beastie, and indeed one I've failed to beat yet. I've battled him 3 times, but to no avail. I got within one Elder Sign of beating him, and then he defeated me, which was very frustrating since I played 2 other games before that moment. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a strong team in and maybe put in one character which I haven't played before, quite possibly this improv one. Haven't played Lola before, so I'll give her a spin, see if she is useful. She kind of looks all mystical and stuff, so that might be entertaining. Okay, right. Hastur. He's going to be a double extra hard one. Funnily enough, he's one not actually created by Lovecraft. He was another guy, Robert W. Chambers. Yeah, he wrote a ton of books about this French play which drove people insane. He wrote, I think, 10, 11 books, something like that. And some people say it was kind of a hidden criticism of government censorship. Back in those days, England was really rather hot on censoring anything sort of fantastical or sexy, and it put loads of people, Oscar Wilde, a whole bunch of others, in prison for various things. They were rather conservative back in those days, though in some other ways they were quite free. You could buy down one street in London a lion, a tiger, a shotgun, and probably some other things down there, such as what we'd now call heroin, but they had different names for it and stuff back then. Not to mention the fact that prostitution was pretty much illegal, or at least ignored. So it was both more liberal and less liberal than today, and possibly a bit more wild. But anyway, with Hastur, the conceit in Robert W. Chambers' books was there was this play about a king which caused people to go insane. And the first act was kind of, benign. It didn't seem that terrible, that bad at all. And what would happen is people would go into the second act oddly compelled, and they'd have their minds ripped apart by it. Oh, that's a good start. So I've got a couple of clues and some tokens there, so that's cool. And got a midnight effect open up. Right, I'm going to try this Lola out, who looks like a bit of a spiritualist or something like that. Not a too hard one. Small penalty. A bit of mind damage. All I've got to do is get some terror. Yeah, shall I use that item? It's a really good one, but oh well, if I don't use it early on. Hastur kind of steamrolled me late game each time. He got loads of lockdowns on me. I had yellow dice locked, red dice locked, a couple of greens locked, and at the end I couldn't do anything. So I'm going to try and keep momentum going, try and play through as quickly as possible to defeat him before he kind of steamrolls me. And I do not want to have to play this again tomorrow. So much as I'm enjoying the game, I do draw a limit at 4 playthroughs on any monster before trying another one. So I'm really hoping this one plays off and I can give you another one in the series. Okay, right, yeah. In see, it was Whisperers in Darkness, which Lovecraft first drew in The King in Yellow, and sort of plumped up the mythology behind him quite a bit. So he drew loads of little motifs out of the books and stuff. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, and it's been sort of carrying on. It's now sort of as the whole Lovecraftian mythos is built up. It's now got him as one of the great old ones, and built this huge, great stack of literature behind him. I mean, how many books has he got now? I mean, if you throw in all the Lovecraft clones, and Robert Chambers books, God, it must be about sort of 25 books written about this fictional God of Shepherds, but not a good God of Shepherds, not the Kumbaya type of Lord of Shepherds, more the deeply creepy and psychologically disturbing type. Okay, right, what have we got? Enough nattering about the game. Let's see. Okay, we really want to get that one out. I don't want my investigators all going bonkers. because that is a real risk with that. Every time midnight swings round, 2 sanity for everyone. That is not something I want on the board. I'm just off. If only I can... Yeah. Oh, this isn't looking good. If only I had a clue. Oh dear, no. I don't like this. Is this going to work? Is this going to work? Oh, denied. No, it's impossible now. Might as well quit out of that one. Bang! That is a nasty one. Losing 2 sanity apiece, and then with that thing, if it stays around, and 2 sanity. Ah! It's going to strip sanity off me. At least I didn't get a Mythos effect, but bang! Look at that. Insanity beckons. Yeah, especially for Investigator, dude. Ah, that was lucky, having that in my toolkit at the start. I need to clear some of these, but it's for an investigation one. Yeah. It would make abundant sense for me to use his strength. Right, okay. Vermin in the pit. Pipes. Vermin in the pits. That sounds rather worrying. Sort of, if you have the Lynx effect on rats, that would be deeply unfortunate. Yes, being chased down the street by a load of attractive girls, not too bad. Being chased down the street by a load of ravenous rodents, not so nice. Indeed, I don't think they'd sell many bottles of Lynx with that. But he might explain the Piper of Hamelin, though I really doubt it. So, I don't think I'll be buying any of that special Lynx. No, indeed I won't be. Right, okay, that's a success, and got some sweet items out of that. So, moving on. King in Yellow, the actual book appears. That's not very nice. I assume it should be, in this, a really nasty one. I hope it is, because that would stay with the whole story. Mind-shattering books and all that. Oh, right, okay. Right, spend 2 trophies to refresh 1 green glyph. Not too bad, not too great either. There was actually a character which lets you discard 2 trophies for 1 yellow dice, which was much better. Oh no, it was an item, a common item, and you got a yellow dice, I think, out of it. Was it a yellow and a red dice? I have to check that. Right, okay. Gate to elsewhere, so magical photo paint. Well, no, not photo paint. Magical oil painting, which you can fall through. That reminds me of what was it? It was a Roald Dahl story. Was it the one with witches? I think it might have been. Yeah, they had a child which had been cursed by the witches, and she was, I think, trapped there forever in the painting, gradually growing older until one day she disappeared. Deeply creepy. Roald Dahl had that excellent gift for making something truly terrifying for children, and they tend to stick with you. Complicated character. Right, okay. Looks like I can clear this first one. That's a double one, so therefore, I assume these dice are 6-sided, so that would be like a 1 in 36 chance, so it's worth picking that up on any 2 dice rolls. Have to work it out for the full 8. Right, okay. Okay, that's cleared, and here's risking insanity again, but at least we've got a piece of literature dealt with. Okay, right. Gloria. Now, you're the one who deals really well with otherworldly adventures, so... O'Reilly. Oh, really? Are you going to Rayleigh? Right. That is such a sweet payoff, though. Look at that. 3 Elder Signs just for 1 single adventure. And again, that is pretty easy, that one. It gives me less doom. It's worthwhile going for that. Oh! Why did I play this? That is so silly. He's got no doom at the moment. I can't put him into negative doom. Ah! Damn it. Oh well. Okay. Oh, that's a bit unlucky. Okay, let's see what we're getting here. Yep, that's done. Get a nice 4 out of that with the wild card. Push that through. And done. Not that it does me any good on the doom reduction side of things. Okay, Daryl Simmons, local investigative reporter, but not with the glasses and the superhuman abilities. Superman, I'm not sure who would win actually, a Lovecraftian monster which could break Superman's mind. It would probably end very badly actually with Superman versus any of the Cthulhu monsters, since he is an alien, but one which is brought up on Earth and quite sane by our standards. So I assume he would actually be completely and utterly pwned by most of the Cthulhu stuff, because his brain would break and then he'd kill everyone. Right. Yeah, that's a bit like Gods Amongst Us, really, when you come down to it. But, not a game I've played, but it does look quite fun. Right, now, which one shall we have for the investigative reporter? Well, that's an interesting question. I think we'll try. There's something nasty in the basement. What could that be? A myth museum? It could be anything. Nothing nice. Yeah, shall I do that? No, clear that off. You've got quite a high chance of getting numbers, and you can just add them together, so it's never that critical. And I can use his ability, and done. Right, there we go. Surprisingly useful ability, that. Because so often you end up just slightly short of investigation tokens, and it's a shame to lose on that. Right, midnight rolling around. Midnight's just gone. Right, we probably want that cleared off, but okay, right. That is going to be quite tough to pull off. I'm not entirely sure that was sensible of me. Right. Right, put a clue on everything. I could have outrageous luck, or I could get a few more chances, and that didn't help me whatsoever. Yeah. Use it or lose it, I suppose. Let's get this off the board. I really don't want that midnight effect starting, adding a load of monsters in. I am having no luck. I really should have got something on that. I've got a 5 in 6 chance after all of getting 1. Finally got that, but I was pretty unlucky using all those. Yeah, at least I can store 2 of them, and I've got a 50-50 chance. Yeah, shall I use this? Use her ability? I suppose so. Gives me... Yep, and that was worthwhile. That's done. That clears that, so I'm not getting multiple monsters. I just get 1 at the moment, but I get a sign for that, which isn't too bad. Right, and this is the chap who can create... what do they call it? Challenge or conflict? It's fighting type stuff, so guy in the machine gun is going to deal with that. Maybe conflict. Call it conflict for now. Alright, I'll burn a red token for that, and what have I got here? Yeah, I can clear that one off. Done. And done. No horrible visions for me. There's nothing you can't solve with a Tommy gun. Right, obviously taking a quick break from his busy schedule of what do they do back in that era in Prohibition America? They were all gin slinging and I'm not sure what they called it. I'm not up on my 1930s gangster lingo, but yeah, undoubtedly slinging rum and legging beer and swaggering around like a gangster with a Tommy gun with a great big belt-fed magazine. I probably got about sort of 50 odd bullets in that or something ridiculous. It's probably like carrying around a sort of piece of weightlifting equipment. It must have weighed a ton, those old things, especially because they're made out of steel and stuff. You know, pretty much forged in the mines of Moria or whatever. And yeah, that must have been quite something. Though probably quite reliable, I imagine. Made out of, you know, blued steel and all of that. Probably quite nice. Okay, right, what are we getting for a midnight effect? Okay, we've got... Right. Yes, I still need to get rid of that. And sanity and... Oh dear, I've got an insane guy with a Tommy gun running around. That can't be good. Yes. Where was he? Has he turned into a lunatic? I think they do with that insanity effect. Yep, there he is, completely mad. Though somehow he's managed to find himself a straitjacket, which is awfully civilised of him, but I'm not entirely sure that makes much sense. Terribly, no, it doesn't. Right, blood on the floor and the statue. Maybe the two are connected. Yes, I won't be taking that tour. Yeah, I took a tour when I went to Rome one time and went to the Vatican Museum, and they had so many statues in there. It was unbelievable. It was just unreal. All these things from sort of ancient Rome, antiquity, and like weird stuff which was given as gifts to the Pope. All sorts of weird. There was even this like weird mummified cat, which was possibly the most frightening thing I've ever seen. It was horrific. Yeah, deeply creepy, especially because it had this really cute statue, but they had the mummy sitting next to it, and a mummified cat, let me tell you, is not a pretty sight at all. Mummies might be moderately terrifying, but I think mummified cats win hands down. They really should be put in a movie sometime, because they are not meant to be seen. I know the Egyptians had like a sort of cat god, what was it, Bast or something like that, but wow. Yeah, seriously, mummified cats, they are creepy, creepy creatures. Talking of creepy, we've got our Tommy gun toting lunatic, so let's go and say hi, in the storage closet no less. So, okay, she's obviously one brave lady, or slightly nuts. Probably slightly nuts, considering she's a paranormal investigator and a bit psychic, and if that doesn't say cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, I don't know what does. Ultimately, I would say she is quite likely to be cracked in the skull. So, right, she dealt pretty handily with him, so he's obviously limited in his field of fire by the fact he had his hounds tied behind his back. Though how they became tied behind his back, I don't know. Maybe he was led away and then came back again. Let's say he, what was that film where the lunatic kind of gets loose in the back of the ambulance and kind of, you know, they find the sort of bloody remnants of that, and then they've got to chase him down for the rest of the movie. I can't recall at all, but it was quite good. I seem to remember. I have to look that up and find out who it is for the next episode. Okay, right, let's clear this. Done. Sweet. Yep, Gloria is absolutely rock hard at doing otherworldly adventures, but she's not too much in the real world. A paranormal investigator which isn't very good at real life. What a shocker. Okay, right. As we've got our investigator here, let's see what we can do, which is a big fat pile of nothing. Luckily I've got a few clues, which is kind of character appropriate, with him with his great big old school camera with a gigantic flash bulb. I think they'd actually started using proper bulbs by this point rather than just like a ton of flash powder. Though I might be wrong, it looks pretty old school that, so he might be might not have got with the maybe he's not an early adapter, maybe he's the sort of person who'd still be using film today, and maybe back in those days that sort of person would be using like gunpowder to take their photos. You know, and plates or something, you know, which they slide in and like hand tool and like develop themselves and everything. Though I have to admit, I do have a certain affection for like people which are like really hardcore and committed to their hobby. Right, okay. How are we doing with this? I am steamrollering Hastur. This is so unlike my previous games, it's not true. First one I came through, I had all of my investigators go insane on the same turn. Which was quite good fun. I might actually post like a blooper reel of because I've got recordings of all the ones which like went disastrously wrong. I'll put together a blooper reel when I finish the series and sort of wrap them all up together so you can see that I do have my occasional failure, because there is one element of luck with this, and a lot of it is picking the investigators. Like here, because I've got a much stronger team, I'm absolutely hammering Hastur, but with a random selection you get a load of, say, investigation up, and you've got no one to sort of increase your likelihood of getting those you're pretty much out of luck, especially if they're tied to an event which starts costing sanity once every turn. The gameplay where I had all of my investigators go insane on the same round, that was one where I had 2 -1 insanities every midnight. Midnight came round, 2 insanity came off, which meant I was really limited in which challenges I could take on because I didn't want my investigators going insane. So midnight came round again, everyone went insane. So no, not my best game ever, that one. Okay, in the archives, another crazy person. There must be an R in the month. Right, okay, the clue, am I going to be lucky? I am lucky here. And she's getting quite close to going completely mad, so I might have to start visiting the entrance for a bit of TLC for my characters. Now we've got Gloria. Do we have any other world adventures? No, none, but she's actually currently the sanest investigator I've got, so I can hazard her a little bit. Hallway on fire. Please do not touch the exhibits. What is up with this museum? Why has someone thought it would be a really good idea to pick like the evilest objects in creation and stick them all in one building for like ease of access for insane cults and just unfortunate psychic resonance to build up and like destroy the world? Yes, that's a bit like the rationale behind, biological warfare testing. Oh, it's to make us safer by understanding how that, if we create a really nasty multi-drug resistant strain of this particular bacteria, we will be so much safer because our understanding will be that much better. Of course, if it escapes and infects a great number of people, that would be deeply unfortunate, but don't worry, our biosafety is really, really hot. Somehow people are rarely reassured by statements like that, and I think this museum is like the paranormal equivalent of like a level 4 virus lab doing research into smallpox or something. Yes, not a terribly enlightened individual put this together, or maybe too enlightened to a point where genius meets insanity, which would be very Lovecraftian. Now, what am I going to do with these guys? Having a bit of a think here. Right. Oh, right back. Sorry, I had a bit of a coughing fit, so I thought we would come into... Right, shall I buff myself, get some more kit, or shall I try and win this on this turn? I can do. I've only got one more Elder Sign to get, and then it will be a perfect win to go all a fighting game on you. Right, I should really, well, if it wasn't for YouTube's policy of flagging everything with any form of music in it, I would play music in the background and have a bit of the perfect. I shouldn't even hum it in actual fact. I'm not quite sure how those things are set up, but they seem pretty paranoid. Since if you have like more than a few seconds of audio from a game, it seems to instantly get flagged, so I just don't bother with it, which is a shame because it's nice to have the audio, a bit of music playing in the background, not just listening to my voice all the time. But it's something I can't really do anymore, unfortunately. And I need 13 to win. Oh well. Okay, Loyla Hayes, who is so close to going crazy. I really should... Do I win this turn? I really want a perfect victory. Well, it's not quite perfect. I do have one insane investigator after all. But, yeah, it probably makes sense. Since she was down to 1 sanity. Oh dear, looks like my perfect run. Oh, it's only a high priest, so no doom. Everyone loses a couple of trophies, which is unfortunate. But I've still got a chance of winning pretty much. Use that buff since I'm at the end stage of the game. There isn't much reason not to. That probably makes sense to have my investigator travel with that one, because right, okay, all of these look pretty hard, especially with what she's got. Yeah, I think the hallway on fire is probably the easiest one to go for. I'd get a couple of items out of it. And she can take that damage, though only just. Even if she's successful, she's going to take 2. But she does have a healing buff for later, so that's okay. Yeah, so she's running around with fire extinguisher, obviously using her psychic powers to detect that when there is smoke, there is indeed fire. Fire! Fire! Ding, 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 ding. Yes, unfortunately no sound effects for me. Thank you, YouTube. Yes, nice blanket plan to make everyone look like a criminal. How wonderful. Anyway, I'm really close to winning. I just need to find one with a bit of investigation. That one could be the trick. I can't use any of my icons, unfortunately, but I can buff up my sanity so I don't instantly go nuts on this one. Okay, unfortunately you can't use his ability on the investigation tokens to push him up to a 4, which is a real shame. Right, and yeah, that might make sense. Why did I do that? Oh yes, no, that's fine. Okay, right. I'll deal with that guy. At least I unlock yellows for everyone. Okay, I've got a reasonable chance, not a terribly good one. Yeah, oh no, denied. I thought that was a law for a sec. Bummer. Oh dear, another one insane. I really hope this isn't going to go downhill at this point. Ah, 4th game lucky, hopefully. Come on. Right, come on guys, come on. Right, yes, completely rational. Talking to myself, playing a dice game. Yes, entirely rational. Not insane at all. It's not like playing this game can make you go insane. Not even if you're facing Hastur, which I suppose would be appropriate for the game, but it'd be entertaining for you, but troubling for everyone else. Okay, I'm going to burn a clue and see if I get a terror out of that. Sweet. Done. Done and done. And that is the difference between a random team, which might not be very good, and a picked one. Although I did lose 2 investigators, Hastur has a real capability to just tear the minds of your investigators apart. Unlike the sleeper in my previous video, he doesn't flood the board with monsters unless you're very unlucky. But yeah, anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Why not like us or subscribe to the show? I hope you like our new graphics. I'm trying to up the graphical quality of the show a bit, and hope to see you on the next